Ukraine, the second largest country in Europe after Russia, occupies a unique and highly strategic location. It sits at the crossroads of Europe and Asia, forming a land bridge between Western Europe and the vast steppes of Russia. But this geography, while offering vast agricultural potential and important trade routes, has also historically exposed Ukraine to repeated invasions, foreign domination, and internal division. One of Ukraine's defining geographic features is the steppe, the flat, treeless plains that stretch across the country. These fertile lands, enriched by black soil known as Chernozem, make Ukraine one of the most agriculturally productive regions in the world. The country has long been considered the breadbasket of Europe, capable of producing wheat, corn, sunflower oil, and other staples in large quantities. This agricultural strength has brought prosperity, but it has also attracted unwanted attention from powerful empires and neighboring states. To the north, Ukraine borders Belarus, to the northeast and east, Russia, to the west, Poland, Slovakia, and Hungary, to the southwest, Romania, and Moldova, and to the south it faces the Black Sea. This diverse set of borders has shaped Ukraine's political and economic relationships, often putting it at the center of geopolitical struggles. The Carpathian Mountains in the west offer some natural protection, but they cover only a small portion of the country. Most of Ukraine is made up of open plains, making it difficult to defend against invading forces. Historically, Mongols, Ottomans, Poles, Austro-Hungarians, Nazis, and Soviets have all marched through or occupied Ukrainian territory. The flat terrain offers few natural obstacles to armies, contributing to the country's vulnerability. Geography has also played a major role in Ukraine's regional divisions. Western Ukraine has historically been influenced by Central Europe and the Catholic Church, especially due to centuries under Polish and Austro-Hungarian rule. Eastern and southern Ukraine, by contrast, spent a long time under Russian imperial and later Soviet control, resulting in strong Russian cultural and linguistic influences. The Dnipro River, running north to south through the center of Ukraine, serves as a rough cultural and political dividing line between these regions. Southern Ukraine's access to the Black Sea and the Sea of Azov is both a blessing and a curse. These ports, including Odessa, Mykolaiv, and Kherson, are essential for trade, energy transport, and military operations. However, control over these ports and surrounding waters has also made Ukraine a target for outside powers, especially Russia, which has long viewed the Black Sea as vital to its own strategic interests. Russia's 2014 annexation of Crimea, a peninsula extending into the Black Sea, was a clear demonstration of how geography fuels geopolitical ambitions. Crimea's geography adds another layer of complexity. It is connected to mainland Ukraine by a narrow isthmus, making it relatively easy to isolate. Its warm water ports, particularly Sevastopol, offer Russia year-round naval access to the Mediterranean and beyond. Before annexation, Crimea hosted the Russian Black Sea Fleet under a lease agreement with Ukraine. But the fear of losing this strategic foothold likely played a major role in Moscow's decision to take over the peninsula when Ukraine's government leaned westward. Energy infrastructure is another geographical challenge. Ukraine lies on key routes for natural gas pipelines from Russia to Europe, making it both a crucial energy transit hub and a potential choke point. In the past, disputes over gas prices and payments between Russia and Ukraine have led to supply disruptions in Europe. This energy dependence has forced Ukraine to seek alternatives, including reverse flow gas from Western Europe and the expansion of domestic energy production. The Donbas region in eastern Ukraine, comprising Donetsk and Luhansk, is another area where geography intersects with conflict. Rich in coal and once a heavy industrial base for the Soviet Union, the Donbas has long had economic importance. Its proximity to Russia and the presence of a large Russian-speaking population made it susceptible to separatist movements, especially after the 2014 Maidan Revolution. The ongoing war in this region illustrates how industrial geography can become a battlefield when tied to identity and foreign influence. Ukraine's long border with Russia, over 2,000 kilometers, presents enormous security challenges. The border is difficult to secure and patrol, especially in the sparsely populated areas of the northeast. During the 2022 invasion, Russian forces exploited this geography by launching multi-pronged attacks across the border, rapidly advancing into the interior. The flat terrain provided little resistance, while the limited mountain coverage offered almost no natural defensive lines. Yet geography also offers Ukraine some strategic depth. The vastness of the country means that occupying and controlling it is no easy task. Supply lines can be stretched, especially when facing resistance from a determined local population. Ukraine's major cities like Kyiv, Kharkiv, and Dnipro are spread out, complicating efforts to quickly capture the nation's critical infrastructure and political centers. Moreover, Ukraine's proximity to NATO countries like Poland, Slovakia, and Romania allows for military, humanitarian, and logistical support. Western Ukraine, especially the Lviv region, has become a vital corridor for aid and refuge. This western flank gives Ukraine a critical rear base away from the front lines of the war in the east and south. Rivers and railways are also shaped by geography. The Dnipro River is not just a cultural divide, it is a major artery for transportation and energy, lined with hydroelectric dams that power parts of the country. Railway networks, many built during the Soviet era, run east to west, reflecting the old economic ties with Russia. However, Ukraine is now working to reorient these networks toward the European Union, physically and economically shifting its geography westward. Climate also factors in. The harsh winters in northern and eastern Ukraine can hinder military movement and supply chains. Mud season, called Rasputitsa, turns unpaved roads into swamps, complicating offensives and logistics alike. These seasonal effects, driven by Ukraine's geography, have shaped not just agriculture, but also military campaigns. In sum, Ukraine's geography is a double-edged sword. It provides abundant resources, trade opportunities, and strategic connections, but it also exposes the country to invasion, division, and energy blackmail. Understanding this geography is key to understanding Ukraine's past and present struggles and the high stakes of its future.